Hi, I'm Jennifer from Unveiled Wife, and if you're just joining us, this happens to be part of a series called Revive Your Marriage. And every week we've been posting a topic along with a challenge to inspire and encourage wives to do something special in their marriage, something that's going to rekindle the passion and build up their relationship with their husbands. If you've been joining us along this journey, I just encourage you to leave a comment. Let us know how you've been doing, if the challenges have been easy or difficult, and how your husband has responded to the things that you've been doing. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to use your encouragement to encourage others to join along with us. And if you just caught on to these videos and you still want to participate, go back through the other videos and use the challenges that I posted to do them in your marriage. You know, there's no expiration date on these. This week happens to be the last week, and we're going to be talking about reviving your sex life in marriage. And to be honest with you, this video I knew was coming, and it was so daunting because intimacy has been something that my husband and I have struggled with almost our entire marriage. We got married 5.5 years ago, and from the very beginning, we experienced a huge challenge in our sex life. We were both virgins when we got married. We were very eager to experience that part of our relationship together, and the honeymoon was painful, physically painful for me. And my husband was patient with me. He had a positive attitude and said, "Don't worry, you know, we'll figure this out. It's just going to take time to feel comfortable with each other." And a few more days went by, a few more weeks went by, a few months went by, and things didn't change. It was excruciating for me physically to endure sex, and I felt very insecure about the whole situation. I wasn't familiar with sex, and I didn't know if I was doing something wrong or if my body was broken, and it was awful. I felt inadequate as a wife. I felt like I couldn't fulfill my husband wholly, and it was so destructive to my mind and my heart. I was so sensitive during that time. And to be honest, I didn't know where to turn to. I didn't feel comfortable talking about sex. I don't know if I was embarrassed or just felt like I was the only one. I wasn't sure. And it was just very, very hard for me to be able to reach out and find help for what we were going through. And at the same time, we were so busy jumping into missions. We were traveling around the world. We were so busy filling our life with serving God that it almost became a distraction for our sex life. And eventually years would go by. Almost 3.5 years went by that we struggled with this issue. And just the anticipation of knowing that we would have to try, you know, that time is coming, scared me. And that would just make things worse. And any time that it failed or that our sex was unsuccessful, it would just torment me. And I cried so many times into my pillow. My husband would try and comfort me, and I started to isolate myself from my husband and from God. And it was so destructive to our marriage. I didn't know how to respond to what was happening to us, and I didn't understand why God would we serve you and save ourselves for marriage and do all the right things, yet have such a huge struggle in our marriage. I couldn't comprehend why God would do that. And by our 4th year of marriage, he walked us through a healing process. And that was really hard for me. Because I had been isolating myself for so long, I was actually in a very deep depression, and just going to church was difficult for me. My husband would encourage me to go Sunday morning with him or Wednesday night to the young adults group, and I just couldn't do it. I had every excuse in the book not to do it. And it was because I was angry at God. I was bitter, I was resentful, and it hurt me. It hurt me to be in the presence of God because I felt in some way deserved or owed a fulfilled marriage just because. I don't know why. Because I was serving Him and I felt like I did all the right things. So anyways, our sex life has been a challenge for me and my husband for almost the entirety of our marriage. And I could probably count on one hand the successful amount of times we've had sex in the first 4 years of our marriage. That's how difficult it was for us. And so I don't know if any of you can relate to that. I don't know if there's wives out there who have felt inadequate because of their sex life or because they weren't interested in sex, or I don't know all the different reasons for why people endure hardships with their sex life in marriage. But I know that I struggled, and I know that it was so hard for me to pick myself up out of that with all the lies and all the deceit that the enemy poured into me. It was really hard to break that. So I wanted to encourage you guys today that if you are struggling in your sex life, please reach out for help. Either ask a friend, talk to a friend about it, maybe a mentor at the church, or talk to your spouse about it. You know, just let them know how you're feeling and what you're going through. I know that there's other things that could keep a husband and wife's sex life distant. For instance, pornography. That's a huge burden for marriages today, and it's so easily accessible. I feel like and it's not just for men, it's women too. I feel like that is a huge burden on sex life in marriage. And there's other sin that could, destroy intimacy in marriage. And so I just encourage all of you to evaluate your sex life if you are having difficulties. See if there's sin in your relationship that you need to get rid of. Maybe you just need to find an intimate time with God and fix your heart with Him. Maybe you just need to rekindle that passion with your husband, and it's just been a long time. You have kids and you're distracted. You're serving God. You're doing mission work. Whatever it is, I just really challenge you this week, and I challenge myself, because even though God took us through a healing process, we still struggle to find the time to enjoy sex. And so I just encourage you this week, find a special time to be alone with your husband. You can, I know initiating is really hard because it was really hard for me and it still is, but let's find time to just experience the joy of intimacy that God created in marriage. We could do this by, offering a back massage to our husband, wearing something cute, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever you feel like would inspire your husband's sex life with you. Let's try and do that this week. So that's the challenge, and I'm sorry that this video went so long. It just was very personal to me, and there's a lot still that I have a hard time sharing with people, but I feel like the more I share about it and become open with it, the more I realize I'm not the only one, and I'm not alone in this, and we all need to encourage each other that we're not alone, and that we're here for each other, and that we're praying for each other. I hope and pray that you and your husband do get to experience a deeper level of intimacy this week, and I pray the same for my marriage, that me and my husband can experience that as well. And I hope that you guys have a really great week. Thank you so much for joining us in this marriage series. I pray a blessing on you in your marriage, and I hope that, I just hope that your passion was rekindled through this series. And also, if you ever feel like coming back to it and trying it again and again, I think that would be wonderful, and I think it's something that I'm going to try and do. So anyways, thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and do more videos more often on different things, different topics, but all around marriage. So thank you again. and God bless.